Apple Ties, sponsored by Apple Ties. For about 35 years, I thought Apple Ties was Apple Ties, but it's Apple Tizer.
I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of Apple Ties?
No, this is the first time I've heard of it. I've never heard.
An
Is it
apple
nice?
drink.
I know what an apple drink is, but I just didn't know
Well,
what
Apple
that was.
Ties is the king of apple drinks. So you've never...
This is the first I've ever... Oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Ladies
Hold on.
What?
I was in a good mood today.
What?
Well, the world's on fire.
It is.
And I think good, because all those cunts that didn't wear their socks, I'll be dead, but they'll be suffering. So it's
Okay.
like a certain Schadenfreude. I'm getting an enjoyment from the misery that will exist after my death.
Can we not be bleak for once?
People just they'll have to drink water that's 90% sewage.
Yeah.
They'll be baking. The only thing it'll be too hot for cockroaches. All the umbrella companies will become parasol companies.
The thing is, though, people are going, but it'll be, in Perth, it'll flood, and a lot of the houses will become beachfront properties, like in the high street. That's not good.
No.
But I've heard a lot of people saying, but I've got a holiday in Greece coming up.
No, it'll be too hot to go to Greece.
You will fucking die out
I'll
there.
go to Greece.
In Dundee, we still don't know what the sun is.
No.
Every time it gets warm
It's
in
the
this building,
hottest
I think
day.
I'm having a...
It's going to be the hottest day
turn.
in Europe this week, they reckon. 50 degrees. Something like
Yeah.
that. But anyway, so I'm thinking...
And some place in the desert went up to 67.
Deserts, to be fair, are normally quite hot.
67.
That's hot.
And that's where people are living. That's in the city.
Fuck. So I was like walking, so I had a wee skip in my step. Because I
Okay.
thought, those fuckers with their haircuts, their asymmetrical haircuts. What good's an asymmetrical haircut when you're just living in a bowl of radiation?
I saw an advert for non-binary haircuts for women.
Oh,
I was
Jesus.
confused by the whole statement.
So I'm walking. I'm thinking, but at least I'll get through my life and things will be livable.
Okay.
And I'm walking along Shite Street.
Oh, no.
And I saw a tableau, if you will.
Oh.
It was a seagull fighting with 5 magpies
Oh.
over the dying corpse of a large rat.
Now, this is not uncommon.
No.
Out the front of the building,
Come to
I
die.
drove down the other day and there was 2 seagulls pulling a rat apart.
Pulling a rat apart. Big rat, though. Well-fed rat.
They're all going after the rats. What's
Biggest,
happening?
you know what the biggest rats are?
What?
Cemetery rats.
Are they?
Oh, they dig down and eat the corpses.
Oh.
Most of us will be eaten by a rat.
Oh, that's fine. There's not
Those
a lot
little
eating on
teeth.
me.
Takes a
I'm-
while.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing much. They'll wear down their teeth. You know how a beaver's teeth always continue to
Always
grow?
grow. Yeah.
You'd be good for that. Like a chew toy for a rodent.
Oh.
It's fascinating.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another
Hmm.
Folk in Scotland.
Oh, so that was that. So
That was the start of the
the
day.
steam went out of me a little bit. So I thought, oh no, but
Oh, but
I'm
the-
living
no,
in the middle of the fucking apocalypse. The climate apocalypse.
Everyone feels it's the apocalypse. When it was 500 years ago in London, and it was the mini ice age.
Oh,
hit,
yeah.
and all shops opened up on the Thames because it was
Yeah.
constantly frozen.
They did.
But they'd gone, this is the end of times.
They
This is
must
it.
have.
No, things just change. People don't like change. Now, here's an example.
No, but this is like, I know every generation wants to be the last. It's
Yeah.
the dream. It's the dream. You will be there at the end of days. But I'm starting to think this one might be a wee bit serious.
No, this is your age. This is what happens.
No, because young people are young and they think, oh God, this does look a little bit serious. I don't think you should see... Here's one.
Okay.
Why is it always hotter at 5 o'clock in the evening than it is earlier on? That was never the case when we were young. Midday, hottest, cool by the evening. Nowadays,
That's okay.
that's a thing we can... Our
I
lives,
don't remember
we should notice a climactic change.
3 in the
our-
morning heat wakening you up because it's getting warmer in the dark.
Yeah.
That's new here.
You can even in your grey age,
Yeah.
old Methalusa over there,
Aye.
it, it's a blink, it's a snap of the fingers in this,
Yeah.
the cosmic time scale.
Nothing.
But you're noticing differences. In
I
our,
am I
in
am
our
noticing.
in our ant-like existence,
Yes.
we are noticing things.
Well,
I think Chris Parkham should be. He said the other day he was being interviewed by Richard Madeley.
Oh, not good.
And Madeley says, but these protesters, he said, it's causing some again. It's making people late for work.
Mhm.
And Parkham says, well, what's at stake is slightly larger than being late for your work.
Mhm.
And he said, actually, the people who can't afford to take a day off work are the people who are going to be impacted most by this climate change.
But the problem with the
Mhm.
people who are going to be impacted the most,
Mhm.
if they take a day off work today, they could lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And this is when people can't get to work. This is why it's the
You have to be
climate
a
protesters.
you have to be a nuisance.
I completely understand
to
what
be a
they're doing, but they're affecting the wrong people. And there's another side to it as well. There's too many rich kids and middle class people doing it, and it grates
That
with
was
the
always
work.
the way.
Yeah, but it grates with the working class that could lose their job
That's always the way.
because they're in the way.
Yeah, I think the suffragettes, because there was suffragettes and suffragists,
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of them were more working class, and the other one was more toffos. But I think it's the toffos that got statues built for them. I think the
that's
woman that
exactly
tossed
right.
off a horse. I think
No, she was a psycho.
she was a psychopath.
I think they were wanting to throw her out because she would carry machetes.
But he needed to carry machetes.
She would carry like knives, and they were like, "Look,
Yeah,
you're crazy."
You need to carry that.
I think she was a bit crazy.
Protest never works if it's peaceful. If I was to sit in City Square
Mhm.
every day of my life with a placard saying "ban the bombs," and it was nice, and people come up to me and says, "Hi there, go on, how you getting on? Fine." And what do you think? And I'd list the things that was terrible with nuclear proliferation. I'd do nothing. If every day I shat in my hand and threw it at a statue, I'd get in the newspaper.
But where's the cutoff point?
There is
Because
no cut-off
essentially there is, because when you go into violence,
point. No, that's not. That's not.
no,
vi-
no,
That's
but
not
wait,
violent.
Well, it
Shitting in my
becomes-
hand and throwing at a statue is not violence.
You've used
That's
that in
not
court
violent.
twice, and it
That's
never
not
worked
violence.
out for you.
You can't commit a violent act against a statue or a building.
Okay,
Violence can only
I'm
be
not-
enacted upon
okay.
a person or a dog
but I'm saying
or a donkey.
if violence did take place,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Because it will lead to that.
Mm-hmm.
Any action leads
My
to it.
shite's so smelly it might kick off a riot.
You look at like Northern Ireland. Violence just continued, and if things have to go beyond that, it becomes the bureaucratic, boring
But if-
political system. That's just a fact. In the Basque separatists,
Right,
they change
in this country,
become boring. It's
in this
what actually
country-
works.
every slightly overweight cub leader had automatic weapons.
Yeah. Oh God, that's true.
Every single one of them.
Lots of pistols.
One of them went in and shot up a school,
Yeah.
and actually there was immediately they took
Yeah.
action. A dangerous dog act. A few kids got bitten. Immediately there was action. So they can move their arse if they want to,
Oh,
but they're choosing not to. They're choosing
Okay,
not to.
that's where we agree.
So
completely.
we're needing a root and branch change. Let's not get political, but we've got a terrible party in power just now. Even fans of them know it's not going well. They're all abandoning ship. Our defence minister's away to get a job with the arms industry. It's all fucking cushy.
That's not suspicious at all.
No, but people think that's fine. The sector, Ben
Jesus.
Wallace is fantastic. One guy goes, "What do you think Ben's future is going to be?" Because he wanted to be NATO leader and he didn't get it. And they says, "Oh, I can really see Ben working in one of British, a CEO of a big arms company." You think, can you see nothing wrong in that?
That is the most.
It's like if your health secretary went into a private health company, the CEO. It's really.
The connection shouldn't be
No.
there. It shouldn't be allowed.
But the thing is,
Checks
we're
and balances.
we're alternative. It's just going to be the same.
Yes. Now, I told you before I had a massive. I was really into politics. Oh my God, it was so boring, and I had a massive collection
you
of
were
books.
so boring. Luckily, you
I had
changed that around.
Rise of Unions books and just all sorts of things. I just wanted to understand it, and then, like everyone else in life, I get to that age, elderly, and you notice things just repeating
Oh,
themselves.
it is. Like flares always come back.
But not just repeating themselves. Infantile, childish nonsense.
Oh, they speak as if there was a glorious time of politics.
There's
was
nothing
already-
intelligent.
No, nothing.
There's nothing smart. There's nothing. I'm going to use the word smart rather than intelligent, where sometimes you need smart people that can collate intelligence, experience, and stuff like that, and do something smart to help. And it's no. They go, no, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's keep that out. Let's find someone to hate. I remember in '93 it was video games, single mothers,
When I was
Do you know
a kid,
what I mean?
when
It's
I was
like-
a kid, single mothers were the enemy of all enemies.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union was still in existence, but no, that was
No,
not uncommitted to
single mothers.
And,
And then it moves on.
demonised them, and children of single mothers were demonised at schools.
And do you remember when we were kids? It was
chest stand up fridge freezers and waste ground.
and the Dungeons and Dragons books.
Fuck well, that was largely played by pedophiles. Though.
Jesus. But the point is, there's always someone. Now, at the moment, it's trans people.
And
it's
the
just-
Russians and the Chinese.
Well, not so much. I think you see social media. I'm starting to be convinced that the trans community have a bigger army than China. The amount of fear they're causing. It's absolute fucking nonsense.
It's wild.
You're just picking on someone.
Well, the percentage points.
They kind of go, who doesn't have a voice?
Well, what's it?
Who is it? Let's go after
so
them.
the census in Dundee in 2017, I think the gay population in Dundee is 2%, 3%.
Yeah.
It's small. So the trans population would be what, a percentage of a
Oh,
percentage?
a very small percentage of even that.
But the way the press
And-
goes on about it,
Of course, they need representation. Of course, they are. Any person in the trans community is equal to
The
everyone
one
else.
thing about the trans community is vegans went phew. now it's their turn.
But that's a good
It's-
point.
yeah.
That's a good point. It's pick on something
Just
irrelevant.
something pointless, yeah. But no, the
has
climate
no
thing.
effect on your
Well,
life.
the thing I've got my knickers
does
in
my
a
head
twist
in.
about, and I don't
Does
wear
my head in.
underpants, is
Oh my-
the big cars, man.
Don't tell me
I
that.
just see them everywhere. The big wank panzers. It's driving me fucking.
Did you see
nuts.
Chris McShadowin's Wank Panzer picture he done?
He did, of course. He was
Too
gonna
much
do it.
effort. Too much
Of course he
effort.
was gonna do
But he
that.
had to find someone quite sexy, so he was going through sexy, oiled up men to get
It's
the right
funny
picture.
that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I thought that.
If he'd had Bella Emberg, I'd have.
That's very different.
So Packham was saying this true. He says in generations to come, he says there will be statues to some of these climate campaigners.
But you know, it'll be to the ones who are the most noisy,
Big Greta.
middle class.
Big Greta.
That's sorry. It's like it is. It all comes down to class, and this is what's creating this issue here.
I think no, but my problem that isn't a problem. That's a problem in ourselves. I don't think that's particularly the class structure working against.
Oh no, I know what you're saying. I agree.
We are less like the way we're in. A lot of working class people are in the position they are because they're kind of knuckled. They're kind of pushed down not to believe in themselves. They lack confidence.
I know where you're going. And I 100%.
When you go
agree.
to public school, public schools are no better education. It's proven the best schools in Dundee are not the high school of Dundee. It's not the best school.
Yeah. I believe it's Baldragon,
Yeah.
isn't it? Gets the highest.
Does it?
It does. Well,
No, I don't.
here's the thing. You go from worst to its worst to its best.
Biggest
the growth
improvement.
Is better.
Well, I worked in Baldragon, and I wouldn't say that.
Eh?
I wouldn't say that. My
Well,
friend.
see,
That's when I
think-
looked out the window, and there was a child looking at me, and I was looking at him.
Yeah.
And he went in. Then he started kicking a tree, and I thought that's
Oh.
interesting. He was by himself.
Of course.
It was kind of. Was it you? Were you maybe? No, it wasn't you. And he went into his back pocket and took out a book and started writing. And I said to my colleague,
interesting.
"What's he write? Oh, that's his death list. He spotted you, and you're on his death list."
Oh,
I
that's
said,
hilarious.
Anyway, it's us. It's what they get taught at private school is confidence. They're taught to go about like they run the place.
Okay.
I mean, what I have noticed, there was in the 60s, the ordinary voice started to get, Albert Finney,
Yeah.
the Beatles, it was working class people started to come to the front. But over the years, they've snuck back. Most of our celebrities are toffs again. Have you noticed that? Sneakily.
See, this is
All the British
the
actors are posh.
You've got that Cumberbatch guy.
Fucking,
He's
he's not the one I hate the most. It's Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, I can't stand him.
His face, I would just...
He
beat
doesn't
it.
look real.
He's not. He looks
Did you
like...
watch him in Jupiter Ascending?
Oh, Jesus Christ. He's just dropped off. You never see him.
He's
in
terrible.
anything. He's
He's
gone.
just a pile of shit.
Pile
He's
of shit.
Terrible.
Pile of shit. Yeah.
But no, I know what you're saying with the class thing because I mention it a lot, and the reason I do is because it's one of these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's divide and conquer. People believe if you're. It's like this. Okay, I'm working class. It's a terrible drink. I can smell it.
Oh, it's lovely. Smell it. Just smell my
No,
drink.
I'm not smelling
Smell my
it. I'm
juice.
not smelling
Just
your
smell-
juice.
No, it's a lovely
I don't
smell.
even say that. Get away. So anyway, the point is,
Some left.
being working class, I hate the working class hero. Oh, I have to work for a living. I hate that attitude. Everyone has to work. But the enemy, middle class people,
I always like
and they genuinely feel they're a leader.
Baloo.
What?
Baloo.
What?
That lazy bastard bear out of fucking...
Oh, you know what? He knew how to live.
Isn't he? I thought at the time, I wish I could be Baloo.
He didn't need anything.
I don't want to be a little fucking industrious ant. I want to be fucking Baloo.
Right, okay.
Who wants to... Can those folk get this pleasure from telling you how hard working they are?
Hate that. Hate that.
What's that about?
Right, I remember. I stopped telling the story of when I used to go to Perth college. I would cycle.
Oh!
I would... Exactly. Now, among some people...
I shouldn't do that. That's too lazy.
That's
too lazy.
We've got standards.
Have some dignity.
And I'd say I'd cycle to Perth college every day.
Uh-huh.
And then some people took that as, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I stopped saying it.
Most things you do are
sounds
inexplicable.
Yes, but it's
inexplicable.
It's not working class hero shit because I hate that.
No.
I hate that. Then I hate I had a friend who was middle class and he says, but being in my position in society, you're a leader. That's just it.
Oh.
And he'd say this. He went to Moneyfeith High.
Two examples of this.
I pulled a nail out his foot.
I saw an action. I went to art school and there was a laddie there and he'd been privately educated.
Okay.
And at his privately educated system, in amongst all the chinless hooray Henrys, he'd been considered very talented.
Oh, God.
And he came to art school and he was an artist and he
Right.
suddenly realised at art school he just wasn't any good. And the thing about him was, it hit him like a shock to his entire being.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a choice there. He could have worked harder and improved. He couldn't. He never recovered from it. He was just shit for the rest of the time.
You know something?
It was wild.
I had the same
I
experience.
saw it in action.
I had a similar experience.
Okay, whereas everybody else there was like, oh God, what am I doing here? This is going to be harder than I thought. But you pulled your finger out and you got on with it.
He just went, this is not for me.
No, he stuck around, but he just never did. He
Never got it.
Never got it.
Okay, here's an example from the other side.
Uh-huh.
Working class family, working class area, living,
Working
everything.
class face.
I've got that. Working class teeth.
Uh-huh.
I've got that now. So, anyway. Anything I go into, any area where people, working class, gathered, I was just an alien. I wasn't good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like football. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I didn't take heroin at 13. I've done nothing.
You sniffed glue and masturbated, though.
Nothing.
Jesus Christ.
Nothing.
Jesus
Nothing.
Christ.
So, I get a job at a taxi firm.
Oh, the banter must have been tough for you.
I went in.
Could you be a changeling? With the royal family...
I might be cake.
Listen to this.
Okay, right.
Royal family are driving through Dundee in a convoy. Yeah?
Okay.
Hit one of these fucking potholes.
Right.
Boot flies open. This thing wrapped in stuff. Boom, bounces out. Lands us on the verge. Your mum's out walking. Coming back for the shops. Picks you up. Takes you home. Raises you as her own.
Well, there is potholes outside my house.
Think about it. That would explain everything.
Well, I suppose.
I did catch you knocking one off to Fergie the other day.
Oh, God.
Not the Black Eyes P one.
No, they both look terrible.
The daughters.
Wait, before we get to that, I'll finish my story, and I want to talk about the daughters. So,
because you mean your cousins?
No, cousins. So,
Aye.
I go to this job,
Uh-huh.
and we're getting on fine. First week there, and I said, "The guy, excuse me, mate, could you move that car?" And he went, "Oh, excuse me, can you move the car?" You fucking prick.
You told me this story 2 days ago.
I don't care. I'm doing it again. It's my age.
Tell it better this time.
Okay, I'm with more energy. Within a week,
Uh-huh.
I'm going, see that fucking car? If that's not moved, you cunt, I'm going to kill
wonderful.
you, your fam.
You social.
And I didn't
chameleon.
swear. I didn't swear until I went to that job.
Uh-huh.
And it becomes such a part of the language
Uh-huh.
that I've never been able to stop.
You're a changeling.
So,
Interloper.
Fergie's daughters. I saw an article. Awful. I was so angry.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was one of the one that looks like a fat horse.
Yeah, the big googly eyes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like horse crab things.
Yeah, they're
weird.
not good.
So, and I could say this about their looks because I fucking hate them.
Aye.
So, said they're very frugal. So they had a very, 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 very low budget wedding. Now, she's wearing one of the Queen's dresses, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they came out of the front of the church, you couldn't see the church because of the flower arrangement around the door. It was gigantic.
Disgusting.
Now, my mum used to be a florist.
Mm-hmm.
Flowers are
That's
expensive.
Very expensive.
When you get designer flowers, they're the size of a building.
Yeah, wild.
You don't use the word frugal. So I thought, you fucking cut. Why do newspapers do this shit?
Well, they have the Queen to be Britain's oldest looking woman. Kate, can she come in?
Oh my God!
What's happened to her?
She's under stress.
She's not even 40-year-old.
She's like, she's all tight. It's like,
but she'll
Jesus.
wear some dress for Marquis and all applaud her. You're wearing clothes.
I used to see her in St Andrews because at the time I was surfing 3 times a day. That's when they were.
And she chose your brother instead.
That's it. But
no, sorry,
I would
you're
say
not
she was
ages
just
with
now. I
William.
know she was a lot younger, but she was a normal looking person.
She must be mad though.
Her face is not normal now.
She was mad.
That actually brings up one of the stories I want to talk about today.
She pursued him.
I want to talk about something.
Oh, please feel free.
Takes it
Feel
right
free,
on.
Your Majesty.
Did you see Prince George at Wimbledon?
I despise him. Is that the youngest one?
Now,
Wears a blazer.
no, he was dressed like a funeral director,
Aye.
and he almost went like that. He put a thumb down.
I used
He
to
wants
just
blood.
Yankees Caligula.
It's coming. I don't remember my dreams. Twice I've remembered dreams, and he's in them, and he's in a balcony watching me.
It's like the fucking
I'm
dead.
fucking terrified
It's
of
the
him.
dead zone.
I'm terrified. Do I know something? You know what I mean?
He will. Jinky will make it to king.
Well, he's going to kill everyone around him. Honestly, he looks. Now
I think he's been caught saying to people, "My daddy will be king. Shut your mouth" and stuff. He's a little cunt.
Oh my! But you
He's
see in
horrible.
his eyes.
But to be dressed in a blazer for the age of 3 is get fuck up your mind.
Could he not just go to like Wimbledon, just wear like a what are they into?
Chelsea.
An Among Us T-shirt or something, Fortnite T-shirt.
Dressed
just be
as
a kid.
Godzilla. Dressed as
No, you don't like kids dressed as in costume.
I think it's just encouraged in them because the thing is, my work. There's adults come in dressed in costume all the time, and it's not a dressy up day.
What?
There's adults go about Dundee dressed as like Japanese sex characters and all kinds of stuff, and you're like,
Oh, I don't go out in the streets anymore.
but
I've
it's
not
not
seen
like a
this.
Comic-Con or that. That's how they dress. There was a guy going about Dundee dressed as Boba Fett for a while.
We're doomed. We're doomed.
Bring on the
Was it a
inferno.
good costume though?
No, it was shite. He was fat. It's just awful. Come on, the fuck. You know how many times I've been in fancy dress? There's a photograph. It would get me and my brother cancelled. This is no joke.
No, well, remember,
No,
this is going out to the
it's
world.
fine. Well, dressed as black and white minstrels.
As I
Okay.
said.
No, but listen, it gets worse. But with little cardboard hats on and stuff. But
No,
I'm saying this. I'm a child. It's fine. It wasn't. My mother didn't have the right makeup. So do you know what she used?
What?
Cocoa powder. And my brother didn't like cocoa powder, so he was just white. Well, it was.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There's a
it's
picture
been
of
nice
us.
knowing you.
There's a picture of us outside my council house, but they can't cancel us because as a child these things happen. Because it was on the telly. The black and white minstrel show was on every Saturday night.
That's when Lenny Henry got his break.
Yeah.
Oh. Moving on rapidly.
Chocolate powder.
But did you eat it?
I was licking it off my own face and stuff.
Oh,
It was sweet. My mum made the whole costume
Jesus.
with dungaree. It was lovely. With the wee nippy lanterns and everything.
oh my God.
Fucking hell.
Oh. Well, we can't be cancelled. I think that was done.
Well, no, but
I think that was done years ago.
no, but there were people that would seek to cancel you for a costume you wore as a child.
Of course there are. There's
As I
people-
say, I was like 6,
Yeah.
but there's people that would seek to cancel me for that, and you're like, for fuck's sake, that's
No,
enough.
you cancel people who are persistent.
Yeah.
You cancel people who are very clear in their motives.
You
go, fuck them.
You give people a break when they're teenagers.
You give people a break pretty much for
But when you're
all
in
the time.
when you're in your 40s, no, you don't give people a break.
Here's the thing. Say someone does something and they went, that's not what I meant. And it's like that. We'll make jokes and someone will come out and you go, that is not what I meant. But you've said it. So people go, that's who you are now. You didn't even know what you were going to say.
Jesus.
I've done it all the time. But you do it for the giggle and you go, oh, that was really awful. And so mistakes, and I'm not just saying this to protect myself. I say too much stupid shit. But other people, if they say something stupid, is that what they mean? Is that what they persist with? No.
If you make a whole career of being a cunt, like, have you stumbled upon anything Neil Oliver's been doing lately?
Neil Oliver, who's that?
He's the history guy, the Scottish guy.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, no.
I just don't know. Well, he's on that GB News, but it's extraordinary. He's he calls himself a historian. He's an archaeologist, a guy that was in trenches. Can he dug?
Yeah.
That's what you think he did. But now he's like he sees himself as some freedom fighter for the truth, and he's just absolutely fucking barking mad.
Well, see, this is the problem I have with people.
But he's burnt it all to the ground.
Why?
He was a BBC guy. He could have been on BBC on Coast. That's what he did.
Yeah. That
kind of BBC for the rest of his life. But he's burnt everything down and he's on a fringe. It's wild.
I found a really easy way. Well, I don't know if it's easy.
It's like the guy from Father Ted.
Yeah, he
burnt
fucked
his life to the ground.
Over nothing.
Over something that had nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with him. Doesn't affect you.
And he's burnt it to the ground. He lost his wife, all his friends. He'll never work again. What?
Well,
it's a male thing. The men just go, oh, no, they're not telling me.
Right. Okay, I think, I don't know if I know what it is, but in these situations where change happens,
right,
there's change.
Yeah.
And you say, I want to find truth.
Okay.
What you're actually doing is going, I am struggling to cope with what's going on, and rather going through the difficult process of maybe confronting some of my own knowledge which is incorrect.
Oh, everybody's an imbecile.
Yeah, well, now, right, you beat me to it. We joke about being stupid, right?
Yeah, but there's nobody that's clever.
But what it does give us is a bit of freedom to get things wrong and then be corrected without being offended. Because I think Churchill said that everyone likes to learn, no one likes to be taught. So if you get that in your mind and go, hold on, just step back from yourself, a bit of ego death, and if someone says, you're doing that wrong, go, thank fuck, because I won't do it wrong tomorrow. Except, and it's like this anti-science thing we're getting at the moment.
But our smart people have got stupider. Like back in not a lot long ago, we Christopher Hitchens.
Yeah.
He was a clever guy.
Yeah.
On a big range of subjects. Now a person who's considered clever is Elon Musk.
Oh, no, this is just all the clever people are out there. All the people that we
are
need
they
to
hiding
hear, they're
away?
all out there.
Is their cleverness meaning, fuck, I'm not getting involved in this shit?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well, if you come out, say a really smart person came out and said something
commented on anything
which would offend a lot of people. How can you say that now, even if you know it's the truth? There was that savant guy, the CIA went to him in the Cold War and said, how do we end the Cold War? And he says, by every man, woman and child in Russia a pair of shoes. They sounded mad. They went, the guy's mad. Then they realised after the Cold War ended, the cultural significance of having shoes, because you could only choose between several pairs of shoes, and it was an extreme gift. It would end the attitude, and it was very interesting.
The Soviet Union wasn't defeated monetarily, militarily. It was defeated monetarily because they couldn't buy them enough fridge freezers and stuff.
And
they saw that Americans had. It was soft power that.
Do you know why America has so many B-52 bombers? The big, huge nuclear
just like
bombers.
building them.
No, well, kind of close actually, but. There was a video came out of, a film came out, black and white, of the Soviet Union Red Square parade thing.
It was all fake
and
stuff.
The plane kept flying over, hundreds of planes. It was on loop.
Yeah.
And nobody was sophisticated enough to go, that's just on loop. So there was a panic to build more and more planes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like a urban myth, but
they're like, no, it's still
kind of true.
Still happens.
It's like
still
mental.
happens. Yeah, still happens.
So anyway,
yeah.
where were we? We're talking about something. We went off on a tangent, which is not like us.
Always go for it. You've written it down. You were looking at something.
I went back to Prince George. Oh, Prince George, right?
Oh,
I didn't know there's another prince.
there's a number of them.
No, but he has a brother.
A wee gay one, yeah.
That Prince Louis, he's going to kill people. He's going to be the knifey one.
You think George is the dangerous one?
He's the one who's going to
He's a
want
leader.
power.
But they always speak about the Black Prince back in the day. There's always
that?
a rogue, and
he's
roguish.
They've got to go out and pick him up from a because he's went in with an AK and shot everyone in a pub, so they've got to cover it up.
I always thought, I'm not
Terrifying.
we're not conspiratorially minded, but if Prince Charles had done something heinous, it would be covered up.
Well, as a king, you can't be prosecuted for any crime.
Yeah,
He can actually murder Camilla, and you can't be done for it.
I don't think it.
It's under British law.
Well, they killed the grandfather, the Queen's. The Queen's granddad.
Mm-hmm.
He took to his bed, so they just gave him a powder because you couldn't have the Queen lingering. I'd imagine they maybe throttled her.
Just a hammer.
There's
or
probably
something.
the royal throttler, and
Yeah.
he comes out.
That's
guy with
an
big-
important.
Probably
job.
a woman with big forearms, and and they do it nicely with a really nice piece of rope. It's
I
gilt.
like all those country
golden
girls I
rope.
saw with a big thumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just going, Your Majesty.
Right.
Charles has got his foot in her chin like that.
Oh, he'd be like, fucking get her.
Yeah,
Fucking get her. But he cannot be.
kind of velociraptors when there's weakness in the pack, and the others just tear it
Oh,
apart.
right, okay.
It's like that. It's like that.
But
So you've taken.
Prince George-
So you had a fear of a child, and you've been dreaming of children.
no. I've been dreaming of a monster.
A monster in child form.
That's scary, though.
Something scary, but very Japanese.
What I hate. Now, we both listen to UFO things and just
Well, I've
put in the
stopped
time.
all that now.
It's not fun anymore. But the last time, I haven't listened to it in a while, Coast to Coast. When I listen to Coast to Coast, I listen to ones from the 90s
Yeah,
when
okay.
they're fun. And Black-Eyed Children,
Oh yeah.
this is the newest thing where people say they knocked on the door. And it's just an urban myth ghost story.
The
but
myth one. There's one I like, and it's the green children of something or other.
That's fascinating.
That's interesting because they were green, but it's
They were
probably something in their diet.
Or it just never happened, and it's a
Never
wonderful
Yeah,
story.
isn't it wonderful?
But it's a good story
Yeah, it's a good
because
one.
it's beautifully told,
Yes.
and there's details in it that just make you go, "Oh, that's quite convincing." I think that is just a beautiful
I
story.
think it's just a
There was
beautiful
no
story.
children; it never happened, but it's
Yeah,
a wonderful
a
story.
wonderful little
Green
story
children, and it
of
described the
something, yeah.
land. They came from inside the earth,
Yeah.
so it's okay. So I found something else out,
Uh-huh.
and it's fucking shocked me. And
Oh
actually,
no, I'm right.
looking at you right now,
Oh no.
it could be
It's-
you.
It's going to shock me.
On TikTok or YouTube stories, which
Uh-huh.
we spend far too much time on.
Not
My
on,
mum still got worse.
not on TikTok
I checked
or
her
YouTube
phone.
stories.
I went and said, "Give me that phone," and I looked at how long she'd been online. 9 hours.
Jesus Christ.
She's lost her. Just going through stories. I hear her laughing. She texts me all the time when she
Is her
sees a
pals all doing it as well?
Yes. They usually watch Love Island and then phone each other and say, "Did
They
you
watch
see that?"
Love Island.
Yeah. They're all in their 80s.
Pervy old bitches.
They watch that shit and then they phone each other saying, "This stupid
You seen
program,"
that guy's
complaining.
cock in
Yeah.
those trousers.
They're fucking disgusting.
My mum and dad bought a desktop computer.
Okay.
I said to them, "You have to learn it."
Mm-hmm.
Because they couldn't really do anything. They couldn't attach stuff to emails.
Yeah.
They just couldn't do anything. And it's important. I'm all right. I can go on fine. I can do everything I need to. On that.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to explain to someone how to do something over the phone
Impossible.
because they don't know. They haven't got the language for it. You
Yeah.
can't, it doesn't work. You need to show them, and so they were like, "I'm not interested." Their attitude was, "We're kind of too old. We're in their fucking 60s.
Yeah.
I'm too old. We'll never bother. We don't need it." I says, "You kind of will," and they would have never got the hang of it. Now, with technology, with touchscreen, the two of them are absolutely
Sitting
flying.
ignoring each other on
Flying.
tablets. Yeah.
My dad's. I've got a WhatsApp group with my brother and my dad and I. He sends stuff. It's just it's just become easy. So old folk have just. It's a golden time for them. It's perfect.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And as much as my mum's went mental,
But it means she's
But-
she's in communication all the time with her pals.
as soon as my mum finds a good
Shares
story.
it, laughs
She
about it.
shares it.
Yeah.
She talks to like 3 or 4 of her friends,
Uh-huh.
and I get it sent to me as well. And it's a cat with a birthday hat on. She loves
But
that shit.
that's not calcifying her brain.
No.
That's keeping her brain active.
She can't sleep.
It would be interesting.
She's not been eaten.
It was just. It would be interesting to plug her into someone and see which parts of the brain are activated by that. But has there been studies done? Is computers, is stuff like that good for like?
I think
keeping you
if you're
active?
just sitting watching TV or just sitting doing nothing,
Yeah.
compared to this high speed, and your brain's
It
catching
depends
up
what
with
change.
change.
I think if you
I think it could be
can,
good
you
for you.
watch a film or a TV program and you kind of go, oh,
Yeah.
those episodes of Game of Thrones, kind of Red Wedding and that. I'd be watching it with my coffee, and you'd get up.
Oh,
Ken, it would get
you
you.
stood up.
Well,
You almost stood up.
I almost stood up. But like stuff with Philip Schofield in it, daytime TV, pap, that's just melting your brain. But
Yeah.
good television, stuff that's having an emotional response, that must be good for your brain.
When I
Because your
watched
brain gets a workout
the
later.
series I told you about, My Name, and I
Uh-huh.
watched it a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. Korean, couldn't believe how good it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, okay.
When I finished it, I was watching it on my VR, and when I took it off, I was like,
You're thinking about it.
that was amazing.
Stuff you think about's
I
wild.
wish you could
isn't
go
it?
back to the start and never see it again. It was so good. So it's stimulating. It's good.
I still think reading is
Don't read.
perhaps the
Don't read.
best.
Gave up on it.
I love it.
I
I
resented it.
stopped during lockdown. I didn't create any art. I didn't read a
No,
single
it
book.
hit you, didn't it?
It was weird. No, I was absolutely fine. I wasn't depressed, but there was just something went on. I just didn't do anything.
Maybe it was
But-
the global pandemic
Well,
was playing on
perhaps
your
a
mind.
global pump, but I wasn't in some. I had some weird dreams. I must admit, but other than that, it was fine. But I just didn't feel the need. I just didn't do it. But I'm back reading. But there's a guy called Leo Carew,
Okay.
and he's written a series of books. And I'm finding when I'm not reading it, I'm looking forward to reading some more.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's great. So yeah,
That's wonderful. That's what you want.
human beings. I read there's a theory that fashion is the basic driver of all humanity. It's fashion.
Yeah,
Because things come and go out of fashion, and
Mhm.
from a very early time in our history,
Yeah. Well, you see,
and
chimpanzees.
you lose
are-
interest in all the found. There's a Netflix documentary just now about a cave they found
Yeah. Okay.
in South Africa, which is obviously the cradle of humanity, and it's a cave system. It's limestone cave, and at the back of the cave there's a drop, right, like
Okay.
a chimney, down to a little back cave at the back, and they thought initially they're little people, little hominids,
Yeah.
little, more like they walked upright, they had hands and thumbs, but they looked, their face like a wee chimpanzee. And they thought this was maybe animals, they'd been brought in as prey, or they'd been dumped there. But they've found burials, and they've found cave art, and
Oh,
they've found
that's
tools.
wonderful.
So this is 250,000 years ago, these little fuckers were doing that. They were people.
People.
little
Well, that's
people.
like there's a site in.
But they'd loved each other.
Yeah,
Because
I-
you didn't bury something you
they've
don't...
cared. That's the sign of civilization, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is someone with a healed, broken bone
Yeah.
because someone's looked after them.
Crows will do that. Crows will look after each other. So elephants
Isn't
as
that
well.
great?
But yeah.
North America, there's
Ah.
a site. I don't know if it's finished the investigation, but if it turns out to be true,
Uh-huh.
it puts it back from 10,000 years ago from the arrival of
Yeah.
humans to 120,000
Jesus
years
Christ.
ago. So it'll be a
Imagine that
hominin.
Imagine there's a chap in that door and one of these wee people come in.
That's mad.
Because I remember looking, when I was in Edinburgh Zoo, I looked in on the chimps, and one chimpanzee looked at me, and you could tell it was very clever, but it looked like, I'm going to fucking murder you.
I just, if I get out of here,
If I get out here, which one day I will,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I'm
Oh,
coming for
just
you. I'm coming for you.
Well, wasn't that someone? I think it's gorillas that encourage people not to stare at them.
Yeah, no, they don't like you still.
And then someone went in every day for months and months and months to stare at this thing, this gorilla, and eventually it got out. And
Yeah.
they didn't get killed, but I think it went after them. It was so motivated.
It's
So they
not real.
reckon it could have, with the right motivation, it could have got out at any time. But this one
Yeah.
person being
Just
weird,
antagonised
it
it.
just went, I'm going to fuck you up. Because they maybe thought, well, was it one chimp got out and then went
Oh.
and visited all the animals?
Yeah, they'll
It
do-
just went around and it's on video going, wow, stocks,
tear a-
amazing.
tear a few
then
people's
just-
faces off.
And just went around just checking all the animals out. Very strange. So
Yeah.
Okay, here what act?
This is give me the Chinese authorities are doing.
What?
Their latest one is that Africa is the home of all humanity. Everybody knows this.
Yeah,
Chinese say no.
of course.
We've come from somewhere else. We're distinct. Isn't that fucking madness?
It's just anti-science for your own silly political nonsense. I don't care if someone could tell me something, because truth is painful, right? And this is something. This is like if you go and talk to someone like a psychiatrist or something, and all they do is they shine a light on truth. They don't give you answers.
No.
They do, and you find your answers. Yeah. So in a cultural or a political system,
our American listeners, therapy is a big thing in America. It's not over here.
No,
we've got alcohol and fried food.
We don't. This is a terrible thing about the UK.
Yeah,
is there's no help.
It's
very
too much
little.
navel gazing. Do you want to get into that Hollywood mindset?
Oh no, that's completely the other side where people are.
Everybody would be good. I think everybody would. It would be nice for everybody to speak to somebody. But this podcast I listen to, and folk go to a therapist every day and shit.
Right. Well, clearly that's a money making scam.
Yeah, it's a scam.
Because if you're going to someone for assistance, I mean, it's like I remember I knew a guy who worked for, I can't remember the name of the organisation. It was voluntary, and it helped people with grief.
Right. Okay.
And they say
so they kind of you parachute in and help somebody at a very specific moment,
and they tell you the things you're feeling are okay, and they can, they're basically just. When you're going through grief, you're just wobbling side to side, and they just stop you falling off that tightrope.
Yeah. That's good.
But they can only come a certain time. They say because then they become a part of the problem.
Yes.
So it's just to help. It's a very short time they help you with.
When they get to know you.
Yeah.
Their usefulness. It's sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes, if you spoke to a stranger, you hear that happening.
That's like the Samaritans.
Tell strangers.
The Samaritans don't offer solutions, but they will listen.
Yeah.
And that's so important. Some people just need to be heard.
They're just all little monkeys holding each other.
And sometimes the thoughts in your head that torture you, as soon as you say them out loud, you can expel them.
Yeah.
And people just sometimes need to speak. It needs to be very positive and stuff like that. I have no idea where I was going with this, but here's the next thing.
Your fever dream of a malicious child king.
Yeah. I'm still terrified.
Devil child.
Now you see,
he does have a Damien energy.
The Omen was a scary film.
Do you know
he's scary?
Talking of monkeys, you know the bit in the zoo with the apes going crazy?
Yeah.
You know how they did that?
How?
The leader, the male ape, the big papa ape.
Yeah.
He was due an operation, so he'd been knocked out, and they had him in the car, and the other monkeys knew he was in there and were trying to get at him. So that's how they achieved that. They're like, we're getting.
I thought they were just hitting them with an air rifle or something. It was the 70s.
We're breaking you. There's footage of like safari parks with people having picnics in the fucking lion enclosures early in the day. They thought it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Having a gammon joint.
I saw a terrible thing. I think it was in China. There was a safari park, and the woman gets out to take a picture of the tiger, and this paw just comes up and drags her away. And what are you doing?
What brain have you got in your head?
What are you doing?
Remember that kid fell into the gorilla enclosure all that years ago?
Yeah.
And the gorilla didn't hurt him. He just went across.
Just checked he was okay. Kept other gorillas away.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then the kid woke up and the gorilla's like, oh. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Here we are to the next
Imagine
one.
George went into a gorilla enclosure.
He'd rip it apart. He'd be standing there with his wee tie tied around his head, covered completely in blood.
Just wearing the gorilla's head as a hat.
With the heart in his mouth still pumping.
And he
George!
Just takes off into the sky.
You will learn to love and fear me.
Can that film Brightburn? That's him. That's him. It's a little
That's him. That kid in that was great. I think that's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a sequel. I loved it.
Yeah, lasers out his mother's eyes.
You know what I liked about it? When he had his mother at the end and he flew her up really high, but when she went through the roof, she was mangled. So instead of just bursting through the roof, he went through fine, but she got all mangled and he just dropped her into a plane. So it looked like an accident. That was so good. Watch Brightburn, it's really good. Yeah. It's depressing, but it's good.
It's very well. That's no bad.
Okay, here's the next one I found. Okay. And looking at you, as I said, this is exactly it. Fake podcasts.
Oh God.
Not only fake podcasts are a thing, they're like half of all podcasts.
Well, there was a thing on that Fess Hole where the guy said he's so lonely. He every week he records a podcast and he sits there and he goes, "Hi guys," but he deletes it after he's filmed it all.
What?
He doesn't record it or anything.
Okay, mine's is not as depressing as that.
He just does it.
I saw on stories there's a guy talking about, and he's talking like this, like I'm talking to you in front of a red curtain. It was just Joe Rogan, and he's talking about how you eat certain things and stuff. It's all bullshit. He bought the right mic, the right stand, the right curtain, shot it the right way.
So it looks like he's a guest.
It looks like he's in the guest. I thought he was. I've seen it all the time on YouTube.
And who is he?
Just some fucking nutter, right? It gets crazier. There's loads of them, because what happens, right? If I'm talking to the camera, here I am. Right, guys, what you need to do is do this and that, right? You might not listen. Now watch this. No, what needs to happen, if I look to the side and it's like I'm talking to someone, I'm suddenly talking with authority. I'm suddenly being invited on a podcast, or I'm important enough to have a podcast. The majority of these ones on TikTok and that are someone sitting on their own talking to nobody. It's wild.
Oh no.
We've put effort in.
I think we got into this at the wrong time.
It's crazy.
We didn't come out in the first flush of podcasts. We were a bit late to the party, just as Abdi's leaving.
Right. There's another guy a few years ago.
We have entered the swinging party and we go to the bowl and all the keys are gone.
We've got each other's keys. Oh no, I'm going home. So it gets worse. A few years ago, I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh no.
But this guy wanted to be a comedian or actor. I think he's Polish.
Right.
And he took all his money.
Right.
And he built a set to look exactly like Ellen's. And he got this Ellen lookalike.
Jesus.
And filmed the whole thing, and he walks on, goes, "I can't believe I'm here. I can't." He's completely crazy. I can't remember his name, but look for it. It's a huge production. It's cost him hundreds and hundreds of thousands. And he's faked this whole Ellen thing, and he tells people, "I was on Ellen." But Ellen looks like she's melted in the sun.
She does look a bit like that anyway.
But very...
Did he use Anne Hesh?
Which was like that. That was scary. She was still getting up, not a bit of skin left on her. Ugh. Anyway, watch for this guy. He faked the whole Ellen interview.
Just before she died, she went into a shop and bought wigs. Like, she went to this store and bought these
I would
wigs.
say, I'm not an expert, and we might need someone who has some sort of mental health training, but I would say she wasn't well. I would call that a red flag.
An episode. Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck. She wasn't well. So, podcasts are fake.
Okay.
But here's where it gets madder. People are taking their fake podcasts, copying it. They copy the set. They do another fake podcast to talk back to them. So fake people are faking their fake to have a third or fourth fake podcast.
But is this achieving anything for them? Is this getting them numbers?
It must get them numbers or something.
And what's Rogan saying about this? I'd rather sit in a fake Rogan studio than the actual.
It's bizarre, but we do have a red curtain.
BO.
Yeah.
BO and cigars, stale cigars.
It smelled bad in that studio. It's just going to. It's
got to, because he'll come straight for the gym.
There is a gym in it.
And he's a wee guy.
There's a gym in the studio.
Have you seen that Tim Pool studio? It looks really bad.
Oh,
He's awful.
He is a disgusting person.
He got spanked. A woman went on his show and just made a mockery of everything he is. And then he just
I saw her do it, yeah.
But she tore his arsehole apart.
Yeah, I saw her doing it.
He's a horrible little guy.
I like when he was so sexist. When she said something that really hit him, he went, "No, you never said that." And she was making out as Sam Cedar. She's he said that. It's not you.
He's got a compound that's got like a skate park.
Yeah. Well, he's made a lot of money.
A lot of money, yeah. But just this place, but he'd said to her, "Do you want to hang around for some pool?" And she's like, "No, thanks."
I used to watch him and he was really interesting, but then it just
the right. It's like remember I had the candy floss machine.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are in the centre, and this is where it's like this, and they're all here. But then the momentum picks up, and they're all just they'd all drift off to the edge, the fringe.
They're
All of
all-
these people, all
It's
of them.
just money. I think it's just
But
the path of least resistance.
Yeah, but the money.
And then
you
you
think-
have nefarious
Is there
organisations.
too many people at the middle? Is it too difficult to make a?
Oh, you don't make anything at the middle because there's a huge scam at the moment where they say, "Oh, you're a fence sitter. Mate, take a side," and you're like, life
But you-
doesn't work that way.
No.
So if you want to be noticed or at least make money or to get the support of these nefarious organisations that will throw money at you to put this propaganda
But I
out,
do feel all these cranks. I don't think any of
extreme
them,
left or right.
I don't think any of them believe it. I think it's all
Oh
a shite.
no! I mean, that's shown over again.
That
and again.
fucking actor guy, Fox. He's clearly bananas.
Oh, you get people who genuinely believe it and they're
But
insane.
he's burnt all his life to the ground.
But why?
Fucking why? I know why.
Why? What? This is the thing I said in the last
But they
podcast.
think, oh, we've been cancelled.
There are no answers, dude.
Brand.
There
Russell,
one answers.
Russell Brand's making more money than he's ever made.
Yeah, and he's just talking absolute pish.
Absolute fucking junkie talk.
Junkie talk.
Just
See,
if he was, I went to parties in the 90s,
yeah.
and I hope I was never that guy, but he'd sit down chatting to people, and some cunt would be coming away with Russell Brand talk piss. And I'd be like, this guy's a dick, and go. But some of my mates would just be transfixed.
You know what I'd love to
They're
say if I was
amazed
talking
by
to
it.
Russell Brand? Can I stop you there? I don't know what that word means.
What?
You've thrown a word in, I don't know what it
No,
means.
but he does it on purpose, but it's shite.
He does it on purpose because then people are terrified to say, I don't know what those
Yeah,
words mean because it
yeah.
makes you sound stupid.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
He's got a big. He has got a big vocabulary. I'll give him that. But it's just
I like
got
how
that
you struggle to say the word vocabulary.
But he's just this fucking. It's just this junky energy. It
Yes,
annoys
it's
me.
nonsense.
But I think he's making a fortune.
And he's nonsense spirituality.
Does he know? Does he believe? Yeah, woo wee wah wah.
Yeah.
Does he believe in it? Or is it all just a cynical exercise?
Well, I remember years ago he was talking about the cost of living in London and how terrible it was and how we have to stop it. But he was in a building that was taken from people who were renting and it was turned into this multi-million-pound.
But
So
none of these stuff.
gentrified.
None of this stuff's fashionable. To just be a guy. Who's the football player? Neville. Is it Gary Neville?
Oh, I'm not.
I don't know football, man, but Gary Neville's a very wealthy man.
Okay.
But it's like Jurgen Klopp is a name. Do you know him?
No.
Liverpool manager, German guy.
Okay.
Very
Klopp.
wealthy.
Good
Klopp,
name.
good name.
Good name.
Very wealthy guy, but he seems to have this nice. He believes in fairness. A lot of
Okay.
Germans do actually. He thinks there shouldn't be that much a disparity between the lowest paid and the highest paid. And Neville's kind of the same. And they get brickbats because they're wealthy. And folks say, "But you're wealthy, you can't comment on anything like that," which is ridiculous.
That's nonsense. Yeah.
But I think they kind of believe in it, but it's not very fashionable talking about helping people alleviate poverty. But if you start to go on about having people executed because they're like vaccinating people and all this kind of stuff, it's so heightened and bonkers.
I saw Ben Shapiro.
Oh, he's
Despicable. He's not right.
he's a little weedy
he's
little
just a
boy.
little shit.
He
But
keeps going on about alpha males and
yeah, he went into a school and it was young kids, and the kids were all relatively
Aye.
not wealthy. And he says the reason you're poor or in a poor upbringing is your parents' bad choices. He has no concept. He has no
his
concept.
sister's a singer.
His sister
His fucking wackadoodle.
has his face.
Wackadoodle.
You imagine, I'm out having a drink and I meet a nice girl,
Aye.
but I'm a bit drunk, so I can't remember what she looks
Oh.
like. And you maybe during sex,
It's like Aphex Twin videos.
yeah, you start sobering up because you know how if you go for a run, you start sobering up.
I never run.
So
that, yeah.
you're having sex. Now, usually you put effort in rather than just fall asleep. So you put effort in, the adrenaline's going, and you start sobering up. And down in front of you
It says
is a long-haired, big-titted Ben Shapiro.
But he was the one that his wife told him if her vagina got wet,
Yeah, that's a medical problem.
medical problem. So he'd never made his wife wet,
No.
and he said this.
Listening to him, he dried my vagina.
He writes like a action thriller book,
He does.
which is supposed to be awful.
They're meant to be terrible, and he's really into the action stuff.
Do you know
and-
Boris Johnson wrote like a screenplay for a Hollywood movie? It's obviously never made, but it's like him as a superhero, like a super spy.
Oh my God, he's such a dick. He tried to hire a hitman to break a journalist's legs, and he became Mayor of London and Prime Minister. He tried to hire a hitman.
He was going to build a bridge that cost millions. They never built the bridge.
Yeah.
It was a bridge. It was just a garden.
It's a garden. Just shit.
What's happening with Dundee's Eden project? I think.
Oh, the Eden project.
They've found some used nappies. 50 million tons of them. Some lead. And some asbestos.
They're never clearing that place.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to maybe be cleared, but I don't think it's.
I saw it was on TV the other day. They were actually talking about it
because they're saying they've started breaking ground on it.
Well, they said this is what we're trying to do.
Oh no!
Now they showed these beautiful paintings, so like watercolors, you know, the architectural. Oh, beautiful paintings, and then CGI and that. But then they put the words in trying to do. No, you do something.
Did you ever see the plans I had at the art school where there was going to be the big nude woman?
What?
The art school was going to have this big woman with a tit suit leaning against the art school, and you could go up inside it.
Any Saturday night, there's a big Dundee woman with her tits out leaning against the art school. Usually taking a piss.
There was going to be a wee porthole at her fanny. You
look out. Oh my God. Oh. But I do know.
I hope he did Project Works because I think it could be very good for Dundee.
But wait, hold on. Here's the problem.
But I've got a horrible feeling because I have looked into it. The Eden Project seems to be some Ponzi scheme.
It is. There was one Eden Project. It's amazing.
But then now there's 100 of them.
There's thousands of them.
Have they built any more of them?
I don't think so.
It's like the
but
Simpsons
there's going to be
monorail.
One,
the monorail
in
episode.
Between Dundee and
the
one. No, and the one in down south.
Cornwall,
so there's going to be
there's
going to be another one.
Oh.
So people won't be coming up here. You'll get less people visiting.
Unless you go around all of them.
Which there's going to be thousands. That'll be like
imagine you
Bag in Monroe's.
They've built this huge dome. It's like the Millennium Dome. And you just walk in and there's just an aspidistra and a pot plant just there.
I saw that new stadium in Las Vegas, which is a giant ball.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a huge TV screen.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Giant.
Yeah.
Because inside it, the stadium's massive. Yeah. It's so impressive. And I looked at it, $2.5 billion it cost to build.
We're out with.
And I went like that. That's amazing. Then I thought, wait a minute. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It captures you. But you imagine driving down the road and a giant eyeball appears. Boom.
It's never going to make its money back.
Stupid.
It'll never make $2 billion back.
It's just a big advert.
Will it?
I don't know. For a good day, I was impressed.
But your horrible nerd stadium, you think that's going to get built? I have my doubts.
I'm starting to doubt it because that should have started years ago. It would have been a massive gaming stadium.
Imagine huge concrete mesa thing. You go in, just a wee telly, and Fast Eddie's just playing some Atari on it.
It looked great.
I saw Fast Eddie in the town the other day.
I saw a video of him fighting people.
I think he might have lost his mind.
I think it's gone.
He had a Ruthie. He was just going.
Yeah.
And it was right next to.
He used to play beautifully.
It was right next to. There's a tram cabin thing.
Yeah.
That sells sandwiches and soup, and he's right next to it, just going. So imagine being in
all day. No, honestly, back in the 90s, he could play beautifully. He was really quite skilled.
Do that to you.
But he's. I just saw him fucking fight on video, and people just film him
he's
now.
Got 10 children.
I don't know how his sperm could be even have any moisture in it.
A long time ago.
Oh yeah, because meths, it just dries everything up. It's not good. It's not good. So, where are we now?
I've absolutely no idea.
Funniest video of the week.
Okay.
Right, I saw a video and I laughed and I laughed and I watched it 10 times.
Okay.
In Mallorca, there's a sea life at Sea World sort of centre.
Oh no.
Horrible thing.
Shamu.
And and you know how the tanks, they're glass, they go around so you see things while you're sitting there. Well, this sea lion thought, fuck this, I'm out of here. It's climbing really awkwardly, like you would over a fence, really funny. And it gets over, and this little waif of a girl in a pink and black wetsuit runs and goes, stop. And it just flings itself, and it lands on her. Splat! And she's just lying on she hits the concrete so hard. But because of that, the sea lion just lands and goes, and takes off. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
She's lucky because there's so many of those poor bastards killed. Those killer whales were. And they don't just kill you; they fucking play with your cock.
Oh yeah, and they
drag
grab you by the
down.
feet, just gently pull you down.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
hate,
like
they hate you.
They want you to suffer.
They don't want to fucking play. They want to be out in the wild.
They want to get the fuck out of there.
I would never step foot in one of these places.
No, I would never go in there.
You could see, I've been to zoos in my time, and you go, God, there's not a lot of space, but then you've got to say some of these animals need, but you can't keep a creature
No,
like that
not
in a
like
tank.
And it's just their echolocation's bouncing
They
back
can
on them.
go
It's
everywhere they
deafening.
want.
Oh, it's
Can
horrible.
there's killer whales off the coast of Scotland?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
I remember being up, was it Thurso?
That's a fucking animal.
And we were lying, waiting for the tide to come in and get
Yeah.
the waves. We were lying on and you hear this rumbling way in the distance, but you could hear it through the rock. It's fucking whales. You could hear
a
it.
big bull killer whale.
Oh.
See the size of those fuckers. It's a big
That's
dolphin.
what they've done to Bo Derek in our front room.
No.
Dolphins, the
Rapists.
friendly, smooth golden retriever of the sea.
Rapists.
Worse, they've been attacking people
Oh, good.
in Japan.
Oh, that's good.
6 attacks this year. They've
just
had
had
enough
enough.
of just fucking kicking the
Fuck
shit out
this
of people.
shit.
The article, though, confused me.
Okay.
It sent me on a bit of a tirade last night.
By attacking, were they using their penises?
No.
No, biting.
Dunk. Head on
Bunking-
them.
Bunking you, yeah.
So, okay. It said, police are investigating. And I thought, what the
taking a
fuck are they going to do? Then I thought, wait a minute. What does dolphin handcuffs look like? What shape are they? I settled on a grub screw type butt plug to go in their blowhole. That you pop it in, you turn it, it expands with a chain on it. And there's a hole so they can still breathe.
Oh,
No, they still breathe.
Just put your thumb in it.
What, and just grab them and drag them home?
Yeah.
I've had enough of your shit.
Yeah. Come on, you.
That'd
Kind
hurt.
of your mum used to get you by the lug.
Just
Just
grab
get
them
by
by
the
the
blowhole.
blowhole in the thumb. But no,
Get
I
them
made
by
it
their
elaborate.
giant fucking smooth cock. Difficult hang on
But they're
to.
slippery.
Slippery.
I hear. They're slippery.
A nice pair of textured gloves. Something with a bit of grip.
Like a pair of mechanics gloves. Just like that.
Go on.
That's a lot. They're
Just
a
grab
big
it with
animal.
the tips of its.
I used to go swimming with them
No,
here. They're
massive.
huge.
They're massive.
So you've got to hold on
Massive
to
thing. A porpoise is small. A
Porpoise
porpoise
is
size
huge.
No, porpoise is the size of this table.
that. Yeah, but
My
here's the thing.
dolphin's
You go, that's
gigantic.
small.
Yeah.
That's a huge animal.
It's just muscle.
Right, but when you
If
see...
a porpoise, if
that hit you, holy shit.
if your trousers, if your wetsuit accidentally fallen down,
Yes,
and a porpoise rammed you,
you're in trouble.
you're in a lot of trouble.
When I was up
That
surfing,
beak of it's right up your
you'd
arse.
see... they were so fast under you, the dolphins.
Oh.
You just see a blink, blink,
It's muscle.
just flash, flash.
They just make a person look like an imbecile.
And they jump over you because they're full of like they're always wanting to interact with you.
Yeah.
And they jump right over your head, but they'd clear me by 10 feet.
easily.
If that fell down on me, it would have killed us. They're
Well,
like
you
this
see,
room,
you see a fucking,
huge
you
things.
see a penguin on land, and you see it in the water. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We are as in the sea. We're as capable as a penguin is on land. We look like an idiot in the sea.
To be fair,
The most graceful swimmer in the world still looks.
I've
like
been
a bulldog.
surfing since my early 20s.
Okay.
I've been in the sea since probably about 11, 12.
You're no Aquaman, mate.
Right? No, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. After work, I would go swimming.
Was
in
your
the
nickname
Lochie
not the
Baths.
brown starfish?
That was in the club that we worked at.
Right.
Now, I'd go swimming in the Lochie Baths. After a day's work at that shitty job I had, I just went and
You
had a
want to
great
swim?
time.
Okay.
And one day, my
Uh-huh.
girlfriend was coming to the house, so she came into the swimming just to wait on me, right?
She saw you.
And she saw me swim for the first time. Now, I don't know why this happens, but you know the way Steven Seagal runs?
Yeah, you swim.
That's the way I swim. My right arm goes out to the front in a breaststroke. My left arm does a sort of crawl. And I've always done this, but I found it to be efficient. But it looks like I'm having some sort of seizure in the
There's
water.
a thing on this morning about sharks and shark attacks.
Okay.
And there was a theory that on a board, you look like a seal.
Yes.
But they're saying actually you didn't need the board even. Sharks basically see in black and white, and that their vision's not particularly clear. It's almost pixelated.
Right.
So they kind of see a shape and they just fucking go for it. And the thing is, when they bite into a person, we're so bony, they generally let you go. Because they're expecting a nice mouthful of blubber.
Yeah, and there's nothing.
If it was Bella Emberg or Cyril Smith, they'd get a good
If they got to kill people in Dundee High Street, they'd be having a great time.
They'd be spitting people out all day long. They wouldn't eat it. Yeah, some of those big guns.
Well, there's a different. There's one side of the street that'd have a good meal, on the other side it'd be just like me and Fast Eddie.
If one of them managed to breach and land on the wee man-made beach in Dundee, get a bite of somebody up there.
I'm going to end the show with something that you would like to hear.
Let's hear it.
Laura.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. She said this last week and I forgot. I had a sore tooth, but I remembered.
She said something.
She said...
It's remarkable for a woman.
She typed and everything. We are actually quite good.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think she's on the heroin.
I would mean a lot coming from someone I respected.
Yeah, I kind of thought that myself. But after...
I'd almost prefer if she didn't like us.
9
that means
insults a day is her average for me.
That's good.
9 a day. I think it's her way of saying,
just let that
I really enjoy the show.
Just let that wash over you. It's like the squawking of animals, like seagulls.
The frenzied squawking in the distance.
If I was walking along Shite Street today,
as
the seagull and the magpies flew off, if I'd got down on my haunches and just put my ear to that little rat and its little death rat, that makes more sense than Laura does. Just to let you know. Right, everybody.
Join us on Patreon where you can see the full video version of this show, which is really good because we've got a new camera, new studio, new everything.
And we've not had any visitors. We had Paul, but he doesn't really count.
He doesn't count. I think,
we've still not got that smell out.
It sticks. There's that stain.
Can you feel a smell? Because I can feel his smell. Can you?
Oh, yeah. On the hairs on my arm.
Doesn't wash off.
Doesn't go away.
It's like the sticky stuff if you buy a book and you peel off the label.
It's just never leaves.
Never quite goes.
Can't get it.
And you know what it does? It collects stew and dust and other stuff.
That's Paul.
That's Paul for you.
Until next time. Laters.
Ta-ta.